Thank you guys.
Thank you.
It's on.
Alright, so we got a countdown. Countdown. Wait, I still have a lozenge, that's not good. That's one less quote that we have.
Alright.
We're doing quotes again?
Oh yeah, do you have one?
I have a whole stash of Zen calendar ones that I
Nice.
checked off.
Just use one of those. But we should probably choose one.
Oh, right, we're on video.
Before, yeah. Oh, this is all gonna get cut.
Oh no, yeah,
this is all the
they're
outtakes,
gonna
right?
cut like 5 minutes out of it. So.
This is
Oh,
the
that's good.
bloopers.
Nice. Alright, so
Are we all ready?
I think we're already ready already.
Okay.
Alright, let's do it.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? You're listening to episode 53 of the Rogue Riders podcast. Have you noticed how people under 20 know more YouTube stars than they do TV or movie stars? That's because influencers are bigger than ever right now. And so is influencer marketing. According to BigCommerce.com, 65% of influencer marketing budgets are increasing this year, and it's become a $5 to $10 billion industry. My name's Nick. Oh wait, we gotta redo that. Luckily they can edit the photo, but I was about to skip an important point here. So I'll try to do it without reading.
Should I restart this?
I don't know, does it
Or she's
have
gonna
enough
cut it?
buttons to
I
do
think
that? She's gonna cut it.
She-
Yeah, that part don't matter. It's not live, luckily.
Take 2. Okay, reopen this.
Alright,
Ready?
yeah, I'm ready.
3, 2.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? You're listening to episode 53 of the Rogue Riders podcast. Have you noticed how people under 20 know more about YouTube stars than they do TV or movie stars? That's because influencers are bigger than ever right now, and so is influencer marketing. According to BigCommerce.com, influencer marketing has become a $5 to $10 billion industry. So if you're somebody who doesn't get what all the hype's about, maybe you're not sure what influencers do or how they can help you, then we're going to break it down for you in this episode. My name's Nick, and I'm joined by 4 very talented people here today, so let's go ahead and meet them now. If everyone can say your name, what you do, and then give a brief review of an influencer you looked at, and we'll go ahead and get started. Amy, you want to start us off?
Sure. Hey, I'm Amy, and I'm the SEO manager here. So I watch videos from Yoga with Adrienne, and in the past I've watched some of her videos, and she's like one of the biggest YouTube like yoga instructors out there. She has like 5.4 million subscribers, and she's really popular. And I think what makes her so popular is that she really brings yoga down to earth. She explains everything in a really understandable way and makes it really fun and easy and just, she's positive and encouraging. And unlike some yoga videos, like here we did a yoga video one time instead of our normal yoga class that I teach, and it's like some yoga instructors, it's almost like they just want to show off, and they don't really bring it down to earth or bring it down to like a place where anybody could do it, and she does.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Did she sell any products? Or anything
I
like that?
don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, but just I read some articles about her too, and it sounds like that one of her goals is to just bring yoga to everybody, so you can do it in your homes, and she wants yoga to be like as common as just getting up and brushing your teeth. And it sounds like, you know, a lot of people have found yoga that way through her videos, and yeah, maybe she's actually starting to do that. So yeah.
Awesome.
Hello, my name is Shannon, and I'm a writer here. And for my influencer, I wanted to choose somebody, again, who has kind of a positive influence and not surrounded by controversy. So I chose Sophie Turner. She's a fashion and style influencer, or just YouTuber, I would say, with over 8 million subscribers. She started out on BuzzFeed, their YouTube channel. She started the series Ladylike, which is still going. But she left BuzzFeed's channel to pursue her own artistic freedom so that she could make the videos that she wanted to make. And she's become immensely popular. She just kind of embraces who she is and trying out weird things. Her most popular video was melting every lipstick she has into one
Oh,
lipstick.
what?
And
Yeah.
she has a series where she tries a lot of really ugly clothes, like really outrageous things from the internet, like a jacket that had arms that were way too long to function, things that companies make just for the giggles. And so she's really funny and cool.
Oh, very cool, very cool.
What color did that one lipstick?
I know.
It's kind of just,
It was a dusty orange.
yeah.
It's like one Voltron lipstick where they all come together. It's better than all
She
the others.
did recently make her most recent video was making the world's largest tube of lipstick.
Oh, damn.
Or Captain Planet lipstick.
Yeah.
Okay, so I chose somebody who doesn't shy away from controversy quite as much. PewDiePie. He is one of the original YouTube stars, one of the earliest. When he first achieved the title of most subscribed channel, he was only at 4 million. When he hit just over 4 million, he was the most subscribed channel.
Yeah.
That's how little it took back when he first started to be the most subscribed channel on YouTube. His content is mostly, it was originally gaming content. It has evolved a lot over time. He's been very famous for a long time. He's gotten back more to gaming content, but he left that for a while and went more towards kind of skit-based comedy. A lot of like just silly videos and different series and stuff like that, although he's gotten back more to gaming lately. One thing that has been notable and in the news was the war between PewDiePie and T-Series. It was kind of a tongue-in-cheek war for the #1 subscribed channel on YouTube. And that kind of went back and forth. There were diss tracks, there were changing of leads, so on and so forth. So that went on for a while. And that is over, and now he's kind of back to making gaming content and hasn't been in the news for anything controversial in a while, so we'll see how that goes. It's kind of one of those things with like how many days since your last accident on the gym.
It's walking the line.
Yeah.
Alright, hi, my name is Tori. I'm also a writer here. And for my influencer, I chose a fitness YouTuber named Sarah's Day. And she's not as popular as other influencers and YouTubers. She only has about 1.5 million, which is still a lot, but like not a lot compared to like 8 million. But basically, she talks all about like her fitness, like workouts and her like her everyday routines and recipes. Like she has videos like easy like recipes and meal prep, and she just like shares her entire life. Like she's super raw and just like even like the bad days when she's not feeling like working out or she's feeling like just feeling like not like her usual self. She still shows like even like that stuff. And she recently had a baby, and so she showed her whole journey of how that affects her body, and like it's called Project Comeback, and how she's coming back from being a baby and how you can still be like fit after having a baby. And she also has a lot of like collaborations with like brands, and it's like products that she uses every day. And so I really like how real she is. Like she hasn't tried to do a bunch of like sponsored videos. It's all just like, oh, like this product I created with this company. So I really think she's like really inspiring, even to like people like me who aren't like hardcore like fitness people, but I can still like be like, oh, like I could do like what she was doing. So
She probably captured a lot of the mom's demographic,
Yeah.
right? Like,
and it's interesting because like she just had her child, so like even before, like for me, I'm not a mom, and I followed her before she had a kid. So like now she has a kid, it's just like got an even bigger audience. So
oh, interesting. Very cool. I did the opposite of Shannon. Chose the most controversial influencer I could find. And one of them was Brittany Dawn. She's a fitness influencer in Dallas. She's objectively very attractive, and she uses that in a lot of her videos. She gives fitness and lifestyle tips on YouTube, like healthy Starbucks drinks and how to build glutes without squats. And throughout this, she's in her bikini. She's definitely using her sex appeal in these videos. There's no doubt about it. And she made a huge mistake though, and became highly controversial because she wanted to monetize her fitness content she was putting out. So she offered fitness plans, selling them for $200 or $300, and a lot of people bought those. Thousands of her followers, they're really dedicated to her, but she never delivered anything. And then when she released apology videos, there was even a segment on Good Morning America about it. there was no mention of giving the refund. She just kind of swept it under the rug. So, I mean, there's videos of people pissed off at her. There's video of somebody, she's at a trade show and a guy comes up and is like, hey, you owe my daughter $200. And it's like a really awkward thing. Her bodyguard said to get involved. So, in the Good Morning America segment, it really emphasized the double-edged sword of social media, which I thought was interesting, of how it can just build you up and build your fame up super quick, but it can destroy you super quick as well. So, I thought that part was interesting. And literally just last week, she released her first video in 2 months, and she was doing some of her old stuff, talking about beauty products, but then she also talks about being in therapy and was very like raw and apologetic. And one thing I found interesting was all the comments for that video were positive. There was people being like, oh, we missed you, Brittany, and so glad you're back, and all this stuff. So she still has at least 270,000 subscribers on YouTube and tons of loyal fans. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see. It looks like it hurt her credibility, but her career's probably still going to thrive. That's what it looks like. So, that takes us to our discussion on influencers. And so, starting off, what are some traits you guys think makes an influencer successful?
So I think that it's really important for them to be confident. Like, I feel like everyone, especially if you're on video, like, if you're shy and, like, people aren't really going to be following you, you're like, oh, do you really believe in what you're selling? So I feel like just being confident and, like, sure of yourself is something that, like, a lot of influencers have in common.
That makes sense for sure.
Yeah, I think they also have to have some kind of marketing talent, like some, knowledge of marketing and like knowing when to strike, when to make that one post, and even controversy. Having a controversy can gain you more popularity, even though it might seem like that'll be a bad thing.
Absolutely. I think the elephant in the room with influencers is a lot of them are attractive. How important is that, do you think, for people to come back and watch these videos? Because probably everyone we talked about, as far as the influencers, they're all, objectively attractive. How important is that aspect, do you guys think?
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I think it depends on the industry. Like, it's important for a lot of them, but I feel like for like comedy, like stand like if you're like really funny, like you might not have to be as attractive as well, because just like that kind of makes you attractive. So, but like obviously if you're like in like the beauty industry or fashion or something like that, or like fitness, like it helps to be attractive.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense.
I kept thinking about the guy we talked about before, the keto guy. What's his name?
Oh yeah. The Living La Vida Low Carb, Jimmy. Jimmy. That was his podcast.
So he got a lot of crap because he was like doing all the keto stuff, but then he was still overweight, and then he actually ended up taking 6 months off because
That's right.
he was like getting a lot of negative feedback. But then he still had his core fans, so maybe I don't know, something like that. It's like you don't have to be attractive. You don't have to like. And with him, it's like he didn't have to fit the supposed ideal of being, fitness and carb, because he still had people following him who wanted to just see his journey and see how he's struggling like everybody else, probably. So maybe it also comes down to having, something that other people can relate with, not just being attractive.
Absolutely.
Or, being the perfect model of whatever they're in.
That's a good point. And maybe it just got that rap because most influencers you hear about are like the, beauty influencers for the most part and that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think it is also kind of like similar to how celebrities, most of them are, really good looking and focus on appearance, but there are some that aren't. There are like ugly
Absolutely.
actors.
Yeah. Jack Black. I think a legitimate, something that really connects you to your audience as well.
Yeah.
The content creators that started either making stuff for games or review. There was this big trend, I don't even know if it's still big now, of kids unboxing toys.
Oh yeah.
And it was enormous. Some of these kids were some of the wealthiest early YouTubers. And I mean, they were pulling in millions of dollars, and it would literally be like a little brother and sister. Like, I like this toy.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. And I mean, that was the whole thing. And kids were tuning in to watch it, and they were getting monetized. Yeah.
My son still watches that.
Totally.
It's like, hi.
Well, I guess that's kind of like That's kind of like how clothing hauls are really popular, like on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
you're just
right.
watching a girl like, oh yeah, and I got this at the store.
Try
Like, and
this
that's like that for
out.
kids.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I got
Yeah.
this toy and this toy.
But so I mean, it's like you never know exactly what it's gonna
Yeah.
be, but it's that thing. Like those kids are coming back to see the toys. I mean, that's what they're
Yeah.
coming back for, really, and
Yeah.
the reactions and stuff. So as long as you've got something like that that people are actually coming to watch,
Yeah.
it's not just about like, are you selling something? Who are you? It's like there's something for them to actually tune in to watch. Then I think you'll make it long term.
Wonder how many parents are watching that too. Like, oh, is my kid gonna get excited if I get him this toy?
Maybe so. Yeah, some of
It's
them
like
sure.
toy reviews, right?
Yeah, sounds
and
like.
then like get that as like birthday coming up. Oh, like I'll see what all the other kids like. You know?
Yeah, maybe my kid will get that excited.
Because adults do the toy unboxing now too, and they have like a whole setup, and then they show like all the little pieces and how this fits in this, and it's like,
It's funny.
yeah, it's
Nice.
crazy.
Excuse me. So, opposite question: what's a deal breaker trait that would make someone a terrible influencer? For me, I think genuineness. Like if they're disingenuous, I feel like people will pick up on that, and I'll probably hurt them. You know, like if they're just trying to sell every product, and it doesn't make sense, or they just come off as like fake, or like they're in it for the money. I feel like those are just intangible things people pick up on.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like, I feel like if you say you like every single product and you do a bunch of sponsored ads and you don't dislike any of them, it's gonna be kind of like fishy. Like, oh, do you really like them, or are you just saying that so that they'll like keep paying you to do their ads? So I feel like
Yeah.
there's this one YouTuber I follow, and like she does a lot of sponsored ads and like brands, and she's had some where she's like, I don't really like this. Like, I love this company, but like this product I don't really like. It's not my favorite. So I feel like that's really important.
Yeah, well, just not having a good personality. You know, I mean, everybody has a different personality, but you can like kind of tell when somebody. It has to do with genuineness too. I think it's like they don't really want to be there. You can tell.
Oh, I see.
It's like they don't really care about their followers. They're just like, I want the followers,
Mm.
but they don't really want to interact.
That's a good point. Like really caring about the people,
Yeah.
caring about the message. Makes sense.
I would say being boring, just being bland.
Yeah, that's
You know,
true.
just
You gotta be
ordinary,
interesting.
Like, why?
That's a
Why
good
am I
point.
listening to you talk
What
right
makes
now?
you
Yeah.
special?
Yeah, I don't even know why. You made a
Yeah.
channel. Sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was definitely thinking about, being genuine. But also, it's like, I guess, you can be a little awkward at first getting in front of a camera and stuff. And I've
Yeah.
definitely seen some of the videos that my son watches, like the gaming YouTubers. I've seen how, like, earlier videos are really awkward, and then they get more polished, and then they just figure it out and get better. But I can see where if you're too awkward, it would be difficult to watch. It wouldn't go anywhere, but
It's the
a
same.
little awkwardness
sorry.
is more relatable. But anyway.
It is, yeah. That's awesome. It's the same with podcasting. The first 500 episodes or so were super awkward, and then after that,
Only 500.
We're only at 53, right? So I guess we have a few hundred to go.
I was completely joking on that. Almost. So, what are some factors that can make an influencer credible? Like we all talked about, genuineness is important. Like, does the products they sell or having more followers always increase their credibility, or are there other things they can do? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think if they use that same kind of product all the time, and it's like an already a product they use before they start selling it, then like that really shows. But if it's just like it comes out of nowhere, like, oh, I didn't know that you even were like into like protein shakes, and all of a sudden you're like advertising like this like new like workout, like pre-workout thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like it has to like fit into your brand for you to be like credible, like. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, reason to use it. Like either your story of how you came to be using it or why you used it. Like if you're a content creator on YouTube and you're recommending video editing software, that makes a lot of sense. If you're a content creator on YouTube and you're advertising like, a company that makes jet planes or something, it's like, are you interested in planes? I don't like, why did, so yeah, just if it's completely random and there doesn't appear to be any reason for you to know about it or to have come across it, like Joe Rogan sells that alpha brain stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah,
those
yeah,
other kinds of
they're
brands
on
and
it.
things on it, right? and that's all like fitness, you know, take yourself to the edge of what you're capable of, which fits with his personality and everything he
Absolutely.
does. So you're like, okay, I can see where you could
Oh yeah.
come across that. But you know, if you started selling like a brand of dresses or something, we'd all be
Cheeseburgers,
very skeptical. Like Joe
Yeah.
Rogan, shut up.
That's a good point.
I think the amount of followers does, play into it a little bit, because if I'm looking for something like a how-to video or something like that, and I see that there's like no followers, I won't think it's as credible as if they have, thousands or millions, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking about how it kind of is the same with SEO. It's like the expertise, authority, and trust. It's kind of the same thing. You want to be able to trust them. You want to know that they know what they're talking about. Expertise. So I think it's kind of similar.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like if I'm going to watch like a tutorial for like how to fix your phone on YouTube, I'm gonna choose the one that has more views.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
That makes sense. I think their story plays a lot in their credibility too. Like if there's somebody, like Meg Cat or another keto influencer, and it's like, or Stephanie Keto Person, she's like, her mom literally had cancer and was dying. So she did tons of research, discovered that keto can, cause tumors to shrink, all this stuff. And, fast forward to now, she's in her 50s, has a six-pack, and is like the leading keto influencer. So it's like she has a strong story. I feel like that has so much credibility when it's like, oh, I see why you're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's like lives and breathes it, and you can just tell. So,
Yeah, I can see that.
for sure. So, do you guys think it's a good or bad thing that for the everyday person to just have that potential to influence so many people? Obviously, there's times when that power can be used for dark reasons, or not go the way they plan. But I mean, these are people who are just like us, basically. They don't have a degree or whatever, and they have millions of followers potentially. You guys think that's, I don't know, what do you guys think about the ethics of that? Of just empowering the average person to be so influential over like 10 million people, for instance?
Isn't that already how it works?
Yeah, I think social media single-handedly made that possible, because it used to just would have been, the few people you see on 3 channels or whatever who have that kind of fame. And now, like, if we go and make videos and say the right things and put it in front of the right people, any of us can be famous potentially.
Yeah. I feel like it was, there was kind of this golden age of YouTube where it was like anybody could just go on and like make videos and just have like their community and whatever, and there wasn't as much controversy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course there was, but it's not like, it feels like there's controversy like every other day with YouTubers and influencers now. And a lot of the images are so fake and cultivated and just like, celebrities. There's not a lot of people who are just real.
It's not real anymore. Yeah.
Actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you already have to have money and connections and like sponsorships in order to become one of those people. Like, whereas, back when like PewDiePie started, it's like you could just start recording and it was a different type of popularity.
Yeah, it's a totally different setup. He actually made a point for a long time of not hiring camera people, not having a good camera, so on and so forth, because it was like his no, we're gonna keep YouTube kind of mentality. So
I think it's still possible for like everyday people, like even if they do have a little bit of money, like they still don't have like degrees, like the other part that you were saying.
Yeah.
But I feel like being an influencer and that kind of stuff, it's a good opportunity for the people who can't afford college, or like college like isn't for them. They want to like start their own business and like be successful on their own. I feel like it's like a good opportunity for those people too.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's overwhelmingly positive that this is a thing now. And that so many like average people have a much bigger voice and potential like that. I think it's great for society. So now we have some trending topics to talk about influencers. Tori, you want to talk about the first one?
Yeah, so I don't know how long ago it was, but the Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner, she recently put a video on her Instagram stories, and she was basically like making fun of influencers and kind of like criticizing them. She was like, she had like this filter and everything, and she was like, hey, I'm an influencer, like I sell this tea, it's like really bad for you, but I don't care because I'm getting paid for it. And so she was basically just like saying how a lot of influencers sell a product just to sell it. And so how important do you think it is for that product to actually be like a good product, or do you think people, like the influencers, just get the money because the product is popular, like, or do you think that sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this.
Sorry.
So like how important do you think it is for an influencer to sell a product just because it's popular?
I think it's kind of become more important for them to pick and choose after it was the flat tummy tea that became like, it's basically just a laxative and it's kind of dangerous to be like, oh, just do this to lose weight. But it can be unhealthy for like young people. So that was kind of a controversy, and I think, that had a really negative impact on some influencers.
It's interesting you kind of brought up like not having a degree. For example, like what expertise did this person have to be recommending, consumer? Like it's one thing to recommend a pair of shoes, but like when you're saying like, hey, you should take this to get this result, it's like, do you have any particular reason to even say that? Because like, I don't have necessarily a stronger opinion of a newscaster, like just because they're on the news doesn't mean that they're any more responsible or would know any more about this question. But the one flip side is that they will face the FCC if they go on there and they say, hey, you can take this for this reason. I mean, that organization is going to get fined. They're going to get in trouble. There's legal action that can and will be taken against them. And with influencers, like, as we're pointing out, they're just regular people. It's like, well, if one regular person says one thing, let's say in a camera video, somebody's recording them and they say something silly and somebody goes and does it, you don't want to hold that against them. That's not fair. That wasn't really their fault. But if somebody has a channel and they get on there and they recommend something and sort of broadcast it, at what point do you start going, okay, you're kind of responsible for, you told people to take this for this reason. These millions of people listened to you. Some of them did it and a few of them got hurt.
Yeah, that's kind of started to happen. I heard a story recently, I think it was a Chinese influencer or somebody who posted a video of how to do this. And I think a kid died trying to do it, and so she got in trouble.
Is it like a backflip on a bike or something?
Right.
No, it was weird ways of cooking things.
Okay.
So she was like, well, they didn't do it the way that I did it, but they were still trying to copy her video. So.
You gotta see this video. Was it like put a frying pan on your head?
Right.
Yeah,
That's so
and a good example of this is they're not as popular anymore, but back when people were doing the waist trainers that's supposed to make your stomach smaller, but I heard that was kind of damaging people's I don't know if damaging their organs, but it wasn't good for them, and it could cause permanent damage. So and but I remember all the influencers were I got this brand, use my code to get my waist trainer and stuff, just because that's what everyone was doing.
I think the problem with a lot of those products, like the tummy tea and the waist trainer, is that they don't actually use them. It's just because they're already fit.
Yeah,
so people are like,
good
oh,
point.
I want to be fit like her. So
they're putting in 2 hours in the gym, and then this thing works great.
Yeah, they take a picture of them wearing it, and then they take it off or whatever. They just throw it away.
Oh man. And plus, from what you were saying, Dr. Drew and Dr. Oz both got in trouble for that exact same thing that influencers do regularly. Take this supplement because it'll help this. And maybe because of their high credibility from being doctors, they got in huge trouble for it, fines, all this stuff. And so an influencer can just say that, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll go take it then. Blue gummy bears that help your hair, okay.
She has beautiful hair.
And I mean, you'll notice in any other situation, they'll always say, we're not giving legal advice, or we're not we do not give medical advice. Here's the little bit of stuff that I can say. You don't hear any of that with, your average YouTuber, your random YouTuber.
Because on network television, there's a level of testing, or they have to be credible. They have to be sure that what they're putting on TV is right and not going to get anybody in trouble.
And they've got a
So
legal
on YouTube,
department
there's
watching
that.
over them.
Exactly. Yeah.
For sure. So Shannon, some influencers got into trouble with outrageousness so far, and then they came back from it. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so, Matt mentioned PewDiePie. He's had a lot of controversy, but he's still on top. And then there was Logan Paul. You know, everybody knows about the Suicide Forest thing, but that hardly even affected him. But there are other people who, you know, like the girl with the dog that we're going to be talking about in another question.
Yeah.
And, you know, people who have not been able to recover. So what are some of the qualities that an influencer has, or ways that an influencer can recover, and why do some not recover?
I think, like, when people are genuine followers of these people, they're watching their videos every day. I mean, it's like spending hours with a person and they feel like they really know them. And I feel like they're blinded by love a lot of times. Like, even after seeing those comments after that chick legitimately scammed thousands of people, Brittany Dawn, and she just still had like, oh, we miss you, Brittany, heart, heart, heart. It was non-stop support. So it's like, I feel like a lot of these people, you know, some of these influencers could go shoot somebody and still they would have hundreds of thousands of followers.
Yeah, and I feel like, so for example, the like big beauty YouTuber James Charles, like he had this huge controversy where he was using like his like best friend's competing like line of like the hair gummies, and it was like a big scandal about it, and eventually he kind of like, he was like apologized that it seemed that way, and he kind of was just, he was super honest, and like, and he like took the hit, kind of like, he didn't totally like say like that he was in the wrong, but he kind of like did a little bit. He was like, I'm sorry for disappointing like you guys. So I feel like just like kind of admitting to like that you like weren't totally in the right, that helps too.
I remember that turned into a pretty huge thing, and like Jeffree Star got involved, and then everybody was like, oh no, it's fine now, and then everybody kind of brushed it over together.
Yeah, because he like made like a really long video like explaining the whole thing, and like kind of apologizing, like not totally, but like it counted, I guess. And so he explained everything, and like eventually he got like all his followers back, but he lost like a few million at first.
I remember that. And you know, a lot of YouTubers, they make apology videos when stuff like that happens. Like, so they tend to not work though.
Yeah.
From what I've experienced, that they seem really disingenuous.
Yeah, I watched the one from Brittany Dawn, and immediately she's just crying. And it was like, you know, she has the Botox going on, the big lips, and she's just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, it couldn't have seemed more like written, you know, like word for word.
Yeah. Well, but I think like apologizing, even though it doesn't always work, it's better than being like, oh no, like this is why I did it. Like I try and like defend yourself. People are like, well, like you still did it. So
Yeah, right.
I feel like it's better than like doing it.
I was wondering with the celebrity apologies, right? When they say something racist or whatever, but they probably still have those views. They're just apologizing that they,
because they got caught.
It always seems strange to me. Like it's supposed to make up for it.
I think the worst thing that you can do is pull the Tiger Woods. Go out there and give an apology that absolutely nobody believes. They're just looking at you like, why are you even, you should have just been like, no, I don't apologize. Honestly, I would have been happier. And it's funny, I watched this video one time that was talking about Dave Chappelle and how he dodges a lot of laser beams. And over the years, I mean, not even just recent stuff, over the years, a lot. And it was really interesting because you mentioned just a minute ago that, well, I guess that counts as an apology, but it didn't exactly seem like an apology. I think that's the best thing you can do. I think the best thing you can do is like be really real, like we've brought that up a couple of times, authenticity, be really real, and apologize for what you actually do feel bad for. Like that's one thing that I always think, I think that PewDiePie has been able to walk the line a few times because of that, because there will be some aspect of it that he's like, well, this particular part, like honestly, that was too much and I do feel bad about that. But then kind of all of the rest of it and the things you guys were really complaining about, you can go have fun with yourself about that, you know? And I think you really have to be willing to do that. You have to show people they're not going to have that kind of effect over you, that you're just going to get scared and go out there and prattle off some apology that nobody buys. It's just going to make people lose respect for you. Because and the other thing is like you just default to it every time. It's like, well, that's the third time you've apologized. By default, the next day in the same tone of voice, I don't buy it anymore. You know?
But you know what? I feel like the PewDiePie example is really good because he has a personality and he has, you know, his self that he's sticking to, and he's not just like flip-flopping all over the place and like apologizing and like tailoring what he does to what people are telling him to do. So you can tell that he really has something like going. He's being genuine.
Right.
And I feel like, I know from my many screw-ups, like whether it was the Navy or my many other screw-ups in life, the only way to get over a mistake is a chain of positives. So I feel like if you're one of these influencers, like you already have all these people who are just clamoring for your next video. Just, all right, whatever, there's a controversy next month, just start putting them out again. Start as if it never happened. And pretty soon they'll be like, yeah, okay, he did that. That was so far in the past, man. He's made all this killer content since then. So that might be a way to recover as well. So Amy, it was a influencer under investigation. What's that all about?
Yeah, Brooke Hawks. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right,
Sounds right.
but she was investigated because she uploaded the wrong video. Basically, she uploaded an unedited video that shows her abusing her dog. So I guess she was trying to make a video of like her dog doing cute tricks or something. The dog wasn't cooperating, and in the video she's pushing the dog, being really mean to the dog. I guess she spit on it. So at some point the LAPD Animal Cruelty Task Force investigated, but they basically said that there wasn't any evidence to support any, abuse. So she gets to keep her dog, but basically she hasn't uploaded a video since then, so it kind of killed her YouTube career. And then similar one, there is a Twitch streamer called Natalie.
Like the third most common name on the planet.
Okay. Whoops. Anyway, she threw her cat on a video. I think it was like in her way or something, and she threw it over her shoulder. And I guess there were other videos of her. I guess there were other videos of her where she kind of kicked her dog, and there's something about like she had vodka in her mouth and she kissed her cat, like trying to give the cat vodka.
So is she an animal abuse influencer?
I don't know. Video games.
For all you people who are into animal abuse, I have your videos right here.
So I mean, those weren't on accident, but the first one I guess was. She just uploaded the unedited video, but it's kind of crazy. Like what really goes on behind the scenes that's edited out of this stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, she was a game streamer, and in all fairness, you do get really frustrated playing video games.
Yeah.
Right.
Lose or
Sometimes you gotta
something.
fling the cat across the room.
Yeah, and it'll land on its feet. Who we couldn't? Come on.
Yell at the screen, fling the cat. Same.
No, but I feel like for the dog, because she obviously saw it when she was editing. I think she would have been like, but be like extra careful about making sure she posted the right one.
Yeah.
Because if she really thought that was like a bad thing that she did, she would be like, okay, I have to make sure triple check. And then I remember seeing that on Twitter, and then after I saw it on Twitter, I saw the video, and she was commenting. She was like, oh, I'm not usually like this. I'm really good to my dog. Like if you see my other videos, I never did anything like this or whatever. And it's just well, you did, and she never really said oh, I was wrong or whatever, which she should have in this case, especially. So
yeah, especially because you know that she was editing it out. It's see my other videos is not that strong of an argument.
Yeah.
She
Totally.
edited it out of those.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
It's look at all these videos before I slap my dog.
Yeah.
Okay. You still did it.
I don't know why people can't learn the Mike Vick lesson, which is that just don't mess with animals. Don't get caught doing anything to animals. People will hate you forever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You could get caught every week robbing a liquor store and just apologize for it. People are he's probably gonna stop at some point.
Than the robbing of a store.
Exactly, and then they'll be like, yeah, it's fine.
That's right. It's like John Wick.
People love this,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, you know that.
Oh man. But another interesting thing about that though is I think it shows that's a hazard.